Morning PTA students. I'm sorry I couldn't be there today, and I hope you'll accept this giant floating head as a substitute. I wanted to just walk you through the handouts that I'm giving to you guys for your class. The first one is called Library Overview, and it's something that you're probably familiar with. Maybe it's the one that you used to make a paper airplane out of during your orientation. I updated it recently though. There might be a couple of things on there that you haven't seen and a few modifications. The first one is the link up at the top that has campus guides in it. That link is probably the best link to use for the library in terms of bookmarking a page. It's got a lot of information that's tailored to the Tampa campus. The campus guides are research guides generally that all the library directors at the various campuses put together for you guys, but this one is particular to the Tampa campus, so you might want to check that out. Gives you information about our hours, any kind of special hours that we might have. Gives you all the links that you're going to need in terms of accessing library resources, so that you actually don't have to keep this piece of paper that you have in front of you. And if you go into the Students tab, it gives you some information about reciprocal borrowing and interlibrary loan, how you can access other libraries such as University of South Florida and University of Tampa, that kind of thing. So from that site, you can link to either the on-ground library or the online library. The link to the on-ground library is slightly different because it's a new look, a new interface. The search for the on-ground library is basically the same though. Accesses the same resources. We still have books, journals, and DVDs, and that's how you can access that. Then going on down into the online library section, as you know, you access the online library through your My Campus portal. From there, you have a few options. I would recommend not using the quick search, only because quick search can oftentimes take a lot of time because it's literally searching most of our databases. And also, unless you're really doing an excellent search, you're oftentimes going to come up with too few results or too many results. So if you're not intimately familiar with research and doing advanced searching, I would recommend going into the Find Articles section of the online library. From there you have a few options. You have a big list of databases, all of which have descriptions. And you also have at the top of the page something called A to Z. A to Z is what you use if you have a specific journal title in mind and you want to see whether or not we have full text. You just click on A to Z, type in the name of the journal, and if it comes up, you can see what databases it's in, and then just check out those different links to see if they're full text. If you ever come across something in our online library that we don't have, in other words, if there's a record there but no text, full text attached to it, you can always just let me know, and I can usually get it through through interlibrary loan for you. So that is the library overview handout. On the flip side are some tips for database searching and doing APA. And the last thing I wanted to mention on that sheet is the contact information for those of you who don't have it or haven't seen it or have lost it. It's down there. You can call my work extension or email me, or of course you can come by the library. But if it's an evening or a weekend, or I'm not in the library for whatever reason, you're more than welcome to use the cell phone number. You can either call me or text me, and that's a 24/7 thing. When I go to sleep at night, the ringer goes off, so you're never a bother. And it's much better to do that than to wait 3 days or 2 days if it's a weekend, or even to the next day. Usually I can answer your question lickety-split rather than you having to wait. So that's the library overview handout. The next handout is something I put together. I believe it's called Overview of Physical Therapist Assistant Resources or something like that. I put it together actually for the seminar class, which you'll get to eventually. And it's just a list of more specific things that we have in our on-ground library and our online library that I think you'll probably find useful. Near the top you'll see a list of call numbers the library that we have on ground is organized by call numbers, and that is to say the library is organized by subjects and subjects within subjects. So you can use these call numbers to kind of navigate the library for resources that are specific to you and your program. Now, that's not to say that every book that discusses physical therapy or every DVD that discusses physical therapy will be within these call numbers, but most of them will be. So kind of get to know these, and they can be helpful when you come in to navigate. And then there's some iterations of different searches you can do. These are really meant to be combination search terms. So you see therapeutics or physical therapy, those would be and lower back pain or sports injuries, that kind of thing. So you can use these different iterations of these words along with whatever it is that you're studying when you're doing searching, whether it be in the on-ground library catalog or the online library. After that, I think we have a list of e-journal titles. You remember I mentioned the A to Z search in the online library earlier. You can, these are different journal titles, specific journal titles that I found when I was doing a search for physical therapy and therapeutics and in those different iterations that I mentioned. There are a number of other specific resources mentioned on the sheet here. We do have several, I think we probably have about 3 or 4 different print journal titles on ground. These are good to get to know because when you leave the university, you're not necessarily going to be told what to read. So it is good to kind of get to know JOSPT and the other physical therapy titles that we have on the shelves because you're going to want to be current in your profession. And so it's kind of good to get to know the titles now so you can figure out which one you like and you say, okay, that's the one I'm going to use, or these are the 2 that I'm going to use to kind of keep current once I leave here. What else? Oh, there's another handout. The third handout that I have mentions one of our newer databases. We only just got it this past July, so we've only had it for a few months. And it's called Sports Discus. This is the first database that we've had that's really been devoted to the physical therapist assistant program, and it's hosted through EBSCO. I believe on the front page is just kind of a general description from the EBSCO website about Sports Discus, and then on the back of that page is where it appears in the list of databases. When you go into the online library and you click on Find Articles, the databases are arranged in alphabetical order, so Sports Discus is kind of near the bottom. But that's where you can go, and I would recommend it as probably a first stop anytime you're doing any kind of searching for any research project that's related to physical therapy. And that's pretty much it. This video is posted right now on YouTube, so it may only be up for a few weeks or till the end of October. I'm sorry I couldn't be with you today, but I hope this has been somewhat helpful. I just want to overemphasize the fact that you have my contact information, and I encourage you to make contact with me on any project that you're working on involving library resources. And I wouldn't wait, if you're doing some searches and you're unsuccessful, I wouldn't wait till the point of frustration. Maybe get 20-25 minutes in, and if you're really coming up dry, just give me a call or send me a text message and see if there's something that I can do to help you get to the next step. I'm glad to see you all in the intro class, and I wish you luck in this class and going forward in the PTA program. Thanks very much.